I'm sure most people, anybody who's watching this will know what banks are. The institutions of banks, the services that it provides banks. You know what banks are, right? Now specifically it's talking about the Canadian banks, the big five, and then its subsidiaries. What the fuck is it the banks do? We put our hard-earned money in there, pay some fees, they keep it safe. Up to a certain amount, guaranteed, that's the bank insurance. That's what we, generally speaking. What else do banks do? They provide you mortgage. Mortgage in Latin is until death. For those who are not familiar with the term mortgage means until death. What else do banks do? They also give us loans for other things. Business ventures, you need to get a new vehicle, whatever. So is it your heart desires, you go to the bank to see if they can allocate some funds to you, and then you will have to pay back in kindness, right? Of course, not in kindness, my apologies, with interest. Nothing is given for free. It is transactional. The topic of this video, which I did not intend on making this video, but time, less than an hour ago, I was at a bank, local bank that I bank with, that I'm a quote-unquote client with. I was there to enact a transaction that can be done at the banking ATM machine or whatever their names are, because everybody has their own little fucking take on it. Anyways, all I asked was, politely, was that, hey, I waited in line to get to the teller, and this young lady, I don't know, forget her name. It's not important. She's just the front face of, anyways. I said, hi, I'm a client. The transaction I need to do right now can be done with the automated banking machine. What I request though is to use your bathroom. She said no public bathrooms. And I said, well, fair enough, but I'm a quote-unquote client. And she still said no. And I said, this is why I have such an animosity against banks. You know, that's anecdotal. The facts of the matter. 5 out of the top 10 companies on the TSX are banks. 5 out of the top 10. What product do they provide? Money, which is theirs, government's theirs. Service, whatever they choose to. So 5 out of the top 10. One is a Commerce, the Canadian Bank of Commerce. Maybe let's not include that. Yes, just for, to keep it fair. So let's say 4 out of the top 10 companies that are traded on TSX are banks. How do they make money? Our money. And yet the audacity to turn around, and they charge us all these ludicrous fees, all these crazy things that we abide by. And at the end of the day, they don't have a fucking bathroom a client of theirs can use? What is going on? Ask the question, what the fuck is going on? Why are they held at such a high pedestal? We've allowed it to happen. Because we are complicit by our complacency. Complicit by our complacency because nobody has dared to ask the question. Why? Because you're compromised. You have things, blah, blah, blah. Maybe if I say too much, they won't give me a loan, blah, 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 blah. Again, there's no advocacy for the people. There is no voice for the people. What do? We abide. What do? We suffer. What do? We compromise, and they take. I wasn't planning on making this video. I just needed to take out some cash, use the bathroom. Yet, It's a sign that I needed to do this. Better late than never. Ask the question. And as Canadians we talk about, why can't we compete with the U.S. economy? Why do we invest in U.S. economy? You know what? Let's take a look at the top 10 companies that are being traded on the U.S. economy. I know the U.S., I have my beef with the States. I have my beef. Let's see how many of their top 10 are banks, banking institutions, the institutions that use your money to make money. What kind of service and products are they giving in return? Let's see. We don't go by anecdotal evidence. We need facts and figures to go with the feelings. Otherwise, you're just a crazy person talking to a camera. No. My crazy is justified. One take, no cuts, just doing it as is. Top 10 US publicly traded companies. Okay, here's the list. NASDAQ, NVDA, tech stock, Microsoft tech stock, Apple tech stock, Amazon, all across the board. Mainly in tech as well because of their servers. Their server system, AWS, Amazon Web Servicing Systems. I guess maybe I've been confused. Anyways, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth is Meta Tech. 6 is Broadcom, which I'm going to read out of the 8th largest, blah blah blah, and the 9th. What do they do? Broadcom. I'll have to look into Broadcom, but it sure looks like they're not a banking institution. Then we have Berkshire Hathaway, which are a banking service. Financial services. Let's put it that way. So they are number what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, sorry, 7th. 7th is a financial institution. Then we have Tesla, Walmart, and the healthcare company, which is number 10, rounds out the list at number 10. Eli Lilly and Company. So in the American U.S. market, there's one financial institution that makes up their top 10. In Canada, 4 out of 5. If you include the commercial, the Bank of Commerce, it's 5 out of 5. 5 out of 10. Sorry. So think about it. Like percentage-wise, 10% versus 40% or 50%, depends on which ones you include. What the fuck is going on? No wonder. We are not there's no. Money is commoditized. How are we expected to make a change? How are we supposed to push forward into the global market if the very institutions are holding us back? It's all by design. There's no... the people are the product. The taxes are the product. Our earnings are the product. You know, there's another key difference between how the States operates and how Canadian banks operate in terms of mortgages is we have to renew minimum every 5 years. Why? Man forbid, business capitalism forbids that in the Canadian market that you lock down a fucking 2.3% rate for your mortgage for the next 25, 30 years. In the States, you can lock it in for the period of the mortgage. Think about it. They have put in through this collusion, corruption, whatever, the lawmakers are all bought out. They have enacted this thing in place so the banks don't lose out on money, potential income, intrinsic value of their fucking dollars and cents. They don't lose out on. If they have a renewal maximum at 5 years, that way there is a period of within, say, the 25-year. If you do the 25-year mortgage, there will be 5 renewals. So they average it out. If maybe in this term we'll lose a little bit of money, next term we'll make money. That's how it's set up. In the States, not so much. I have my beef with the States. I have it. Let's not go there. But they have certain policies that actually act for the people. What the fuck is we doing? Anyways, I've said enough. Hey, also on that note, I love knowledge. So if I'm mistaken on any of the facts and figures or any of the things that I've provided, please educate me. I'd love to learn more. I want my basis of argument to be based in knowledge and facts. Not like I used the example to start off this conversation, but facts and figures is required. Only then we can have a fucking leg to stand on. Anyways, I'll upload this Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, I don't know, wherever, and then hopefully if it triggered just a little bit of an emotional response, please share. If you think I am just talking out of my ass, then allow yourself to be educated by people who have more education than me. And if you don't care about it enough, then please don't fucking bitch and moan about when the shit is going to shit. Because all people can do is bitch and moan. What the fuck are we doing about it? I'm trying to send a message from the heart. Okay, Charles.